Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Home Sweet Home here in Alaska in the Icebox. My name is Marcus Baylor, and to my right is Ryan Eastman. How you doing, my dude?
A little cold for my feathers, but then again, this is literally home for you, so I know you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good to finally be in a more chilling atmosphere. Well, in this case, it's a very nice temperature for me. Getting back to good old fashioned Alaska, and here we're going to see the Alaska Arctic go up against the Hawaii Kahunas tonight.
Yeah, divisional matchup, one of the few that we get to see as a SportsDen caster. Uh, Put aside your Alaska Arctic's bias. I mean, I know they literally wrote you a check for about 6 years of your career, but what are your thoughts on this team this year?
I think Alaska has done a pretty decent have a pretty decent season. That's like the best thing that I can really say for this team.
So,
Um,
unbiased bullshit filter removed is they're having an
yeah,
absolute disaster season, is what I'm hearing.
no. Like they're oh boy, you're just gonna keep pinching those cheeks, aren't you? Anyways, Alaska has really played a pretty subpar season compared to the last few. They're right now currently um under 500 when it comes to record. There's still a lot of games to play, so we don't know how things are going out. But so far, they're kind of starting off a little bit slow, it seems.
Yeah, right now, bottom of their division at 12 and 14. Uh, then again, considering that they still, if the season ended today, they would be the eighth seed. Not terribly bad position they find themselves in. Like I said, there's plenty of games left. It's just who they're playing, including who they're playing tonight. The division of death is a very real thing. And on the other side of the ball, they're going to be playing the Hawaii Kunas, who are currently in the lead of this division, even though they are tied overall record-wise with Santa Ana at 19 and 7.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge dividends for the Kahunas. They're doing really, really well in this season, especially with the pickup of Yona Vasenhut, who has been a surefire pick. Getting from free agency after replacing their previous point guard.
They had a point guard last year. I mean, the stats say they did not have a point guard last year based on the night and day difference we see with Yona. I mean, don't forget, Yona's only a third-year player, but he is definitely has been a huge improvement on that front, and we've seen all the Kunas players playing better now this season. So I think we're gonna go with they didn't have a point guard last season. That's the only way to justify.
well, while that is a little bit harsh, depending some of the players that have played for that team in previously, I will have to say that yeah, this is a massive improvement for them, and it's really shown in their record. I know JCK is having a really solid season as well. It's just a really good feeling all around as how their capabilities of what they could do in the playoffs in years past. But of course, we're getting a little too far ahead. Let's focus on the here and now. What do you think they have to do what it takes to make sure that they will be able to get out of Alaska with a W tonight?
Just play their game. I mean, Alaska's biggest threats are their guard duo of Kellendine and Matthews, shooting beyond the arc. Not to taking away from their post play of Severt and Okayu, but when you think of Alaska, you think of their front three: Kellendine, Matthews, and to a little lesser extent Najak, stretching the defense out. And thankfully, with again the acquisition of Fiona, they have a bit better of a defender on the perimeter. So as long as they can contain those three and lead the cleanup on offense to Scooney and Tate, who combined are leading the league in offensive or helping lead Hawaii to the top of the offensive rebounds per game. Those two alone are giving Hawaii huge second chance opportunities, and that's part why they have such a great lead in the division.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, but I think one of the biggest things for me is to really expose the rookie Josh Servert.
Sophomore.
Well, yeah, sophomore, excuse me.
I mean, he's still
but
young, but
Yeah, he's still a young player, and comparing to Scooney Barrett, Scooney Barrett is pretty much miles ahead. Severn has done very decently so far during his time in Alaska, but considering the matchup, it's definitely favored to Scooney, and I expect Scooney to have a pretty powerful night.
Well, one would hope so, but like you said, it's going to come down to the matchups here. Speaking of which, I think the players are starting to get ready to take the floor.
Indeed, they are. We get to see some of the players warming up a little bit before we get things going. Man, I gotta tell you, it's just it feels so great to be in this atmosphere once more. But of course, I'm gonna keep it clean as much as I can.
It's okay. I'm here to help keep it clean.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can bop me upside the head if I go a little bit too wild for my former team. But it's good to see the players getting ready to line back up, get this jump ball going.
I mean, you spent 1 year in Pittsburgh, so I'm going to call them your team. Clearly, you care more about Pittsburgh than Alaska.
Maybe, just a little bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and get this tip-off started. And we're off. And right now, we get to see Alaska winning the tip for the first quarter as Devin Kellendine. Coming in the veteran, passing it over to Matthews. Matthews trying to go for a 15-footer, but it's not able to get it there. As Yona passes it up to Warren Doyle, a former Voodoo player, passing it back over to Yona. I have to say, though, when it comes to Hawaii, over the years, they have picked up a few quality players throughout the entire league, as we get to see a ball stolen over by Cliff Matthews.
Yeah, Alaska, aside from drafting Scooney and JCK, have built their team around the free agency. Marcus Matthews going to dunk it in off of the give and go.
And right now, you're going to see Yona bringing it up. Yona passing it to Tate. Tate going over to Barrett. Stevens trying to find a way to drive into, but not having a lot of room. Doesn't have a lot of shot left on the shot clock. He just lifts it up, and it's in. So right now we're tied 2 apiece. As Devin passing it over to Otis. Otis going over to Matthews. Gotta really be careful as they pass it over to Kellendine. Kellendine thinking about shooting the long ball, but not doing it. Passing it to Najak, but almost for 3. Not able to get it there. The rebound by Tate as Cross Corrali tries to answer back, and he makes the flush.
Yeah, great play in transition there. Defense was not prepared for him on the perimeter at all.
Right now, you can see Devin try to make moves on Yona, and Yoni gets called for the first personal of the game for a reach-in foul.
Yeah, I can't blame him there. He saw an opportunity, and actually they're going to call that a shot attempt. That's interesting. I wouldn't have called that a shot attempt. I mean, I know he threw his hands up in the air like he was shooting, but...
I mean, sometimes the refs kind of let them get away. You can see Devin made his first shot. He's going for the second. He's able to get them both. Nice little flush there, as Alaska gets the deficit down to 1, 5-4.
That is another way they can attack Hawaii, as I've mentioned, Yona being such a key linchpin. If he gets in foul trouble here, they could find themselves falling behind as they lose the ball.
Yeah, that's not a good look there. Early turnovers. Good to see Kellendine passing up to Okayu with the slammer.
Yeah, that was all on Tate. He was going for a steal there for some reason, and Okayu just found an opening to the lane, and good eye getting him the ball when they saw no defender was in his way.
Yeah, right now Tate passing it up to Doyle. Warren. And everybody find that guy's going for a little bit of isolation play as he goes for the long 2, and he's able to get it in. Right now we see Devin pass it over to Cliff. Cliff hands it back over to server. Josh passing it back to Otis. Otis going over to Cliff. Cliff going for a nice long 2 there. Quick 15-footer to get the lead back. And right now, JCK passing it up to Scoons. Back over to JCK. Tate. Really not in his own comfort zone as he passes it back to Yona. Yona for 3. And he gets it in. So a nice little pick and pop play for Hawaii as they get the lead up by 2. Matthews trying to find some answers for his team as he passes it over to Josh. Josh trying to fight his way into the paint, but he passes up instead to Kellendine, who throws it away. Trying to find somebody in the paint, but miscommunication there.
Sloppy games for both teams here tonight so far. That's the 3rd or 4th steal.
And right now, Doyle passes it over to Barrett. Scooney trying to drive his way into the paint. And he's not able to get it there. Good defense there by Josh Server. We're going to see a nice 3, but not able to get it there. He was open, but just wasn't enough. And JCK got his paws on the out of bounds, so it'll be another
turnovers. Alaska will have an opportunity to slowly start to pull away with these extra possessions.
And right now we're going to see Otis for 3. Not able to get it there. Hawaii's getting a little bit lucky that Alaska's not able to take advantage of these turnovers. As Yona loses the ball this time once again. And right now they have a chance to get a fast break point. Kellendine stops, go for a short jumper, and he's able to tie the game up. As soon as I said, they got to watch out for these turnovers.
And Kahunas have to call a timeout after that. Much needed after all the turnovers. I mean, it's not even that some of them are unforced. It's that Alaska's just getting in their heads.
Yeah, it seems right now Alaska is picking up the pace defensively. They know that this team is going to be really hard to go up against, especially because they're feeding into the paint. So they have to be able to put on that pressure very early. And right now it's paying dividends.
I mean, that's one way to stop Scooney, right? If they don't even let him get the ball.
Yeah, but here now we get to see Warren Doyle being able to get the lead back up to 2.
And that's a great statistic there. Kahunas have shot 83% from the floor. They just turn the ball over so much, it doesn't matter. As Kellendine for 3, off the back iron, open but no good.
Yeah, and Doyle had the rebound, and we get to see a pass all the way over to Cross Corrali in position. Sort of resetting real quick. Passing it back over to Yona. Yona loses the ball, but he gets it back. He has to find somebody. Is able to find an open look for 3, and it's good. Avoided disaster there as they're up by 5. And right now, severed. It was a good dish there, but he wasn't able to get to finish it up. That's why he's still up by 5. You can see Yona. Hands it back over to Tate. Hands it back to Yona. And Yona loses the ball, and Akayu gets it. Yona not having a very good start of the game as Kellendine lays it up, and it's not in. But Akayu gets the offensive board, and he gets the foul. That'll be Tate's first personal.
Yeah, not a lot of blame there on Tate there, fouling him. I mean, giving up that offensive rebound is more of a negative on his part. He did not box out the Rhinoceros well at all.
Yeah, but right now they could have a chance to only get 1 point, which is
exactly. I was about to say the Rhinoceros may not be so good at shooting those free throws, but get on the first.
Yeah, but right now, Hawaii's lead is only by 4. It's only got under 6 minutes left in the first quarter. And he misses the second. So Hawaii's up by 4, 15-11. As Yona passes it over to Cross Corrali. What a nice dish there by Yona.
Yeah, if you're keep turning the ball over while dribbling, you might as well not even bother and just pass it right away.
And right now, Devin trying to make some works on Cross Corrali. getting deep into the paint, and he's able to spin his way around and get the 2.
And that basket was already a guaranteed because Okayu had the better position. He had boxed out Tate. So even if he had missed, Okayu would have just slammed it back down on the rebound.
Yep, and right now, we get to see, I believe Corrali just lost the ball there as Matthews gets the rock. Kellendine with a nice alley-oop pass to Okayu. And just like that, Hawaii is up by 2 this time, 17-15. Barrett. Be very careful. Alaska is still looking to try and get that ball swatted.
Can you blame them? They're on a roll right now.
As Warren goes for a long 2, I suppose, and Tate is able to get the offensive board and hit to the side, and Okayu had no choice but to foul him there.
Yeah, this time Tate getting the better of Okayu down low in the paint. Was ready just to slam it back down for an easy 2, but now he'll have to earn it from the charity stripe. And
yeah, the matchup. Oh, yeah,
go ahead.
I'd say the matchup between Tate and Okayu has been very interesting so far, but fairly even.
Yeah, and on the opposite side of that, Scooney has only 1 bucket attempt so far. He's, for some reason, either the defense is keeping the ball away from him enough that it's impacting him, or, and in fact, we're going to see a big substitution with all the starters for Hawaii sit down besides Tate, and I believe the majority of Alaska starters sit down as well.
And then right now we get to see both Matthews and Tate staying on the court. Obviously with Tate missing the second one. Right now we get to see Matthews laying it up, and it's in! So Alaska is only down by 1, 18-17. Cliff Matthews with 6 points so far in the first quarter. Pretty solid quarter for him.
Former MVP, of course he's going to have a good game here tonight on the big TV.
With the Juniper, pass it over to Kikian, who passed it over to Alphonse. Alphonse no slouch either as he tries to make a 3, and it's in! No, my mistake. Long 2 there for Alphonse. He himself, who also has a former All-Star from a few years ago, showed a little zip in his step. And we're now we get to see Baraka passing to Fua, going over to Castellanos. And Cast passing up to Kominsk. Kominsk trying to find a way to get into the... And he lays it in. And 1, so he has a chance to tie the game.
Looks like, again, substituting them around a lot just to make room for the players back on the court. And speaking of Alphonse, bit of a wild card for the Kahunas, playing starter for a while since coming to the team in 2013 through the draft, but has found himself on the bench the past couple of years with the acquisition of Warren, having to do a bit of whatever he can to stay relevant on this team without, bleeding the blood on the floor.
Yeah, well, Norwich has always been known as a very solid player, and I think coming off the bench has been pretty good for him as he goes to try and drive it, and he's able to get it in. He's showing his dividends coming off the bench.
Well, he's an energy player, which is great for the team. Like, coming off the bench, if Hawaii's been struggling, they can just put him on to kind of get the team going again. And that's kind of what they need right now, is they're allowing Alaska to get back, and we see a block from the defense.
Yep, as we get to see Juniper going for a quick free throw jumper, and she's able to get it down. Right now, Cast bringing it up. Hoping to get a good screen. He's able to get it. And he gets blocked. Another good block there for Hawaii as Juniper brings it up. Juniper. Now to let the team reset a little bit. Passes over to Sophia. Sophia going over to Rodney. And Blanc laying it up and in. Another former starter from Bangor last year coming off the bench this year for Hawaii. He's able to get the lay-in for 2. And Kelsey for 3. Not there this time. And right now, Sophia trying to go for a long two, not able to get it. We're seeing a lot of quick shots these past few possessions for both teams. And right now, we're going to see Rakuya, I believe, making the dunk there.
Yeah, I mean, the tempo is picked up with the bench on the floor now. They can afford to expend some energy here as they're not expected to stay in that long. But it's turning into a fast-scoring flurry as Hill misses her shot.
Yep, and Clements got the rebound as George passes it over to Kelsey. Kelsey passes it up to Cast. Cast going over to Baraka, and she's able to get it down. All right. And Juniper passes it over to Sophia. Sophia going over to Rodney. Rodney has another unforced turnover there, as well. Full was able to pick it up. So Alaska has a chance to get the lead here. All right, now Rakuya. Get a good screen. Pass it over to Fua. Fua, lay it up and in. An excellent pick and pop play there for Alaska as they're now up by 1. Right now we get to see Rodney. Letting the clock run down a little bit before he passes it on. Juniper has the rock, thinking of going for a deep 3, but instead goes through the screen and gets for an open shot and not able to get it there to take the lead. And Baraka could have a chance to extend it. So passes it over to Kelsey. Kelsey getting guarded well by Sophia. Probably another screen here, and she's able to get wide open, but is not able to get the shot up. And Fua loses the ball, and Sophia is able to probably get the last possession of this quarter. And never mind.
Stop talking. You're causing problems. A 3-on-1 fast break results in nothing, and that will be the end of the first quarter here. 27 Alaska, 26 Hawaii.
Whew.
Yeah, I was going to say good shot clock management from Hawaii there to make sure they got the last shot of the game, but then they go and turn it over.
Yeah. Right now I have to say for the first quarter, I think the definition for this one is most certainly the the turnovers really coming into play very early on. Hopefully both teams will be able to clean it up as we get into the second quarter, especially on the Hawaii side.
Yeah, I mean, considering their field goal percentage is so much higher than Alaska right now, so we're going to see quick play.
Whoa!
Monge dumping it down there. That was a 3-pass play, and it ball didn't touch the floor once.
There's some excellent playmaking ability on the Hawaii side. Right now we get to see Kelsey trying to find a way to get into the paint. And was able to get the quick 20-footer. So Alaska's now back up by 1. Juniper passing up to Norwich, and Norwich laying up and in.
Hawaii finally getting that post game going. See if it translates to when the stars come back on the floor with Tate and Scooney, because Scooney, like I said, has been absent today. Only 1 basket so far.
Right now, Kelsey is trying to get that lead back, not able to get it there. But right now, Hawaii could have a chance to extend this lead if they take care of the ball, and they do just that. Right now, Hawaii's up by 3 after the night dish to a easy layup. Right now, we get to see a Blanc-Mange fouling. So we get to see Margot go on the line for 2. And right now, Margot Bates has moved around the league a little bit, but she has been a very decent backup point guard for wherever she goes.
Yeah, and in this league, having strong backups is key, especially when injuries come into play. You never know when your starter might go down, as we see her make the first one. Even though Alaska has been flush with guards for a long time, I mean, Ambrose Slade retiring recently has definitely given them a bit of a hole, but even then, with Devin Kellendine filling in quickly, they never really have had to go through a rebuilding phase, this team.
Oh yeah, I think that that's pretty much Alaska's shoe-in. Really, the past 5 years, if you really want to be honest here, considering that they've always been so heavily on making sure their backcourt is one of the best in the league. And right now, we get to see Sophia almost losing the ball there. They got to be real careful as she hands it over to Hill. Hill passing it to Norwich. Norwich is having a pretty solid quarter right now. He tries to lay it up, and he gets swatted down.
Oh, that wasn't even
a shot clock violation.
That wasn't even a nice block. That was a spike down into the court.
Telling the rat to sit down with that rejection.
Oh, please don't punch him, Norwich. After that, it wasn't. There was no disrespect there. I promise. He was very angry at the ball and had to smack it into the floor.
Yeah, right now Rakoya passing it up to Poison, going over to Norath. Norath getting a nice screen for Poison, going for a three, and it's not going the way they want to, as Jared Sunderman gets the board.
Yeah, Alaska struggling from beyond the arc. If they start hitting those, we see a quick turnover, but gotten back. They'll fight for the ball. Yeah,
and they almost turned it over there. That was not going to be good for Hawaii if they had a costly turnover again. And we get to see a quick drive there by Juniper Hill. And you can see the points of turnovers playing a huge role here. The Kahunas with 10. Not something you want to see if you're a Hawaii's fan.
Yeah, and then obviously Alaska, 11 of their points coming off those turnovers in the fast break opportunity, whereas Hawaii, only a couple points, but then again, Alaska has not turned the ball over that often here tonight.
Yeah, if the Kahunas were not able to turn the ball as much as they did, this probably could be an entirely different game. And speaking of that, Bates almost loses it there, but was able to clean it up as Poison was able to lay it in, and it takes the deficit within one.
There's not really much of a deficit here to begin with. Neither team able to pull away more than a couple of possessions. As we're seeing, jumper from inside the paint is no good.
Yeah, right now we're getting to see Bates bringing it up. Bates passing it to Kelsey. Kelsey going over back to Bates. Bates tried to find some room, and she just laid it up, and she made it in. As Scooty Barrett gets his first personal. And Alaska has a chance for an and one and gain a 2-point lead. So we're going to see some substitutions. Seeing most of the starting lineup coming back outside of Bates.
Like I said, starting to trickle back on the floor as they will probably play the last 9 minutes of this half. She's got on the free throw, making it a 2-point game for Alaska.
And right now, Yona go over to Kealoha. Yona back over to Yona. Yona going to Warren. Pass it to Barrett, which is deep into the three. Jared having the rock. Trying to find his way into the paint, but he loses the ball, and Server picks it up. Right now, another costly turnover by Hawaii. And Alaska is looking forward to take advantage of it again. Margot. Passing up to Matthews. Matthews slowly but surely getting his way into the paint. And he tries to spin it around, and he's able to get it in. And the Kahunas once again have to call for timeout as they're now down by 4.
I mean, can you blame them? They're losing, aside from the field goal percentage battle, they're losing every other battle. They've given up so many turnovers and allowed Alaska to go to the line so much that, honestly, remove any of those factors, and Hawaii's up by 5 points by now. I mean, Alaska's had 7 free throws from the charity stripe so far they've made.
Yeah, Hawaii is going to have to clean up if they want to be able to get some kind of recognition. And we can do just that with Karali finding his way into the paint.
I mean, I'm going to give my paws off for that pass, but that was a pass into the middle of the paint after giving up 11 or 12 turnovers in this game so far. So maybe a little smarter with the pass. I mean, I'll give you a clap for the shot, but... See,
yeah, right now, Alaska has been able to be a little bit cold as Barrett go for a long two, and he's able to get it in and tied up 38 apiece. So even with all the struggles Hawaii has had, it's still tied up 38 apiece. We'll see if they can get another stop here. Not this time. And right now we get to see Yona. He's trying to see if he can make some move. He passes over to Barrett. Barrett. Oh, losing the ball, and Okayu gets the steal. Right now, it just seems like Alaska is just taking advantage of Hawaii's slippery paws. I don't know if they've been dipping their hands in oil or something. Once again, Alaska's lead is up by 4. Let's see if Hawaii has an answer. That's JCK driving his way, but he gets blocked there by Cliff Matthews.
Are oil tip paws the new it? Did Voss start that again?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sure if they want to bring that back, but Bates getting a good screen. Trying to lay it up, but it gets blocked pretty hard, but Bates able to get it back. Passing to Servert. Servert not able to get it in, but it's out of bounds. Arctic's ball. Good defensive efforts there, but still comes costly as Alaska's still able to have some sort of possession.
Not only that, but they get 14 seconds on the shot clock after that missed shot. And Najak not even going to use a second of it there.
Yeah, Najak was trying to get the quick 2 and get everybody's off guard. And Yona is able to draw the foul, and it's Akai's second personal. And the crowd's not really liking that very much.
You don't sound like you're liking it very much. I mean, considering Yona...
I mean, okay. This is a little biased, but hey, it is what it is. We're just trying to have a good time here.
I mean, Alaska's up by 4. Of course you're having a good time.
Hey, I mean, honestly, I like it when it's very close like this, but it can make my own little Alaskan heart pound a little bit. Right now we get to see the first shot. He's able to make it. So right now Alaska's up by 3. Depending on the second free throw. And we're going to see Tate return to the game. Now that the size has kind of returned to their size a little bit more in the advantage. Hopefully that'll become paid dividends as Vasanut is able to make the second. So Hawaii's only down by 2, 42-40. Even with all the mistakes, they are still in it. And right now we're going to see Najak. Najak for 3. And no good. Tate with the board. Hands it over to Vasanut. Yona. Taking his time. Found an opening. Going for the lob, but it gets stolen. Not a good look as we get to see Matthews taking advantage of that. Yona was trying to be a little bit cute, but Okayu saw right through that and was just able to just grab it through the air. Right now, Alaska's got it up by 4, and it gets stolen again. Devin laying it up and 1.
Yeah, that was just a frustration foul there after giving up 2 back-to-back turnovers. Pushing him from behind like that, not even really impacting the shot. Lucky didn't get called for a flagrant 2 there.
Yeah, Yona is clearly getting very frustrated in this game. He seems to be not having the best game so far, not really taking care of the ball this time around.
Well, honestly, Alaska's just on fire with these steals here tonight. Makes the end 1. Alaska, largest lead of the game so far here, up by 7.
Yeah, this is easily the largest lead that we have in the game so far. And Yona he did lose the ball. Devin Kellendine has been picking his pocket all night as Matthews go for the long 2, and now they are up by 9. They have to call timeout here.
I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. I wouldn't be shocked if Hawaii has to make a substitution with Yona. Clearly, Alaska's gone into his head. Keeping him in at this point is just asking for further trouble. Juniper Hill has been serviceable coming off the bench, and it looks like they will make a substitution. Instead, going with the Sandcat, Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia has had a pretty decent game so far. Hasn't really done a lot in the stats, but we can see a lot of Passing over. Doyle. Get a good screen by Scooty, excuse me. And he's able to lay it home. So right now, Hawaii is hoping to try and cut this deficit they have fallen themselves into over the turnovers in the past few possessions. But right now, Caillou bringing it up, and he's able to lay it in.
I just want to point this thing out. Alaska's had 13 more shot attempts than Hawaii here tonight, and yet they're only up by 9. So that just shows you how bad Hawaii has been, and almost stolen there again, but finally going to get called for the reach-in.
Right now, Alaska's being a little bit too greedy with picking out pockets, but it gives Hawaii a little bit of a break here. As Tate looking to throw it to somebody, and he sasses over to Barrett. Barrett passing it to Doyle. Doyle. Oh, he loses the ball there, and once again, another forced turnover by Alaska. Alaska cost it there as well.
I mean, is it greedy if it's working?
True enough, Doyle laying it up and in.
16 turnovers.
Versus that is not a stat that you would like to see at all. It's Devin. Tries to find a way to get into the paint. But he's not able to make the tight shot, the tough shot there. As Sophia bringing it up. Sophia passing up to Barrett. Barrett going over to JCK. They got a chance for a screen. He's laying up and no good. No foul. No foul on the contact either. Right now we get to see a 3 as it rattles it home. So right now Alaska once again back up by 9. As Sophia passing it to Barrett. Barrett uses his size to his advantage against Comisk. So they could cut the lead down to 7, depending on these 2 free throws.
Yeah, again, he's starting to try and make some noise here, obviously with that long shot earlier, but Alaska's defense is just keeping him out of the play by not letting the guards pass the ball at all. It's almost too much of a risk to pass it down low in the post to him.
Yeah, it just seems like that they're really on deck when it comes to the perimeter defense entirely. Tried to make sure that they want to leave Scooney and Tate out of the game for the most part, as he's able to get the second one. So right now, Alaska is up by 7. They have to try and get a stop here. They want to continue to clean it down. And as soon as I say that, they were able to roll it in home by Devin. Good feed there for the Arctics. And right now, Sophia letting the play out. It's got a guy open. JCK is able to get the 3. So right now, Hawaii is slowly cutting it down. Let's Castellanos. Throw it over to Matthews. Matthews for 3, and it's good.
Wide open on the poor switch there off the screen. If he had missed that shot, I would have to have revoked his MVP trophy.
I mean, sometimes stars like that have its ups and downs, but you know that's a gimme shot. And once again, Devin's trying to being really greedy. Another reach-in foul for him. That's the 4th team foul.
Well, only first team foul for him overall.
Oh.
I mean, at this rate, he'll only have 2 or 3 by the end of the game and like 7 or 10 steals. So,
anyway, right now, Devin wants to continue his stealing brigade, excuse me. As Tate passes over to Norwich. Norwich getting a good screen. He's able to get the switch. And Norwich is able to go ahead and use the using the backboard to his advantage. Hawaii is only down by 7, excuse me. It's Devin trying to make some slick moves against Sophia. And then trying to make his magic. And he gets rejected hard Tate bringing it up. Passing over to Juniper. Juniper trying to make moves his own, but he loses the ball to George. And George bringing it up. George passing over to Poison. Poison for three, and it rattles home. Nice little lucky bounce there, as Alaska's now up by double digits for the first time in this game. Right now, we get to see another unforced turnover here by Hawaii. They're just desperately trying to make some kind of move, and it gets blocked there. Actually, ends up blocked there by Rodney, but it's still going to be Alaska's ball with 17 seconds left on the shot clock.
And like I said, we've watched Alaska here match the shot clock well. They should be able to get 2 shots off before the end of this half.
And then right now, Hilandon passing over to Rakuya. Rakuya not able to get the shot going. And right now, it would be good if they can be able to knock down these 2 shots. Cut this deficit down to just within 2 possessions, if possible. And right now, he's going over to Norwich. Norwich trying to find his way into the paint. Not a lot of time left on the shot clock. Tate for the long 2, not able to get it. But right now, Alaska has a chance to extend their lead up to 12. Devin pulling it back a little bit. Going for the last shot. As George able to rattle it home. So by the end of the first half, Alaska is going to be up by 12, 63-51.
Yeah, Gabriel there with the last second shot really coming through. Pushing this lead to the highest point we've seen this entire game, as we're going to take a look at the stats in a minute for each individual player.
Yep. Let's go ahead and see some of the halftime stats as well, overall for both teams.
If Kellendine isn't the leader for 16 steals. Oh. Kellendine with 6 assists, 11 points on his way to, I'm assuming, a triple-double at the rate he's stealing. We'll have to see in just a second. And heading on over to the stats, Matthews, 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 steals for him and a block, 8 for 10, nearly perfect from the floor. Okayu, 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 steals as well, is shooting perfect from the floor, 3 for 3. Kellendine actually only has 4 steals to his name, but 6 assists and 11 points, shooting 50%. The 3 of them combined making up the majority of those steals. Najak missing all his shots, but he has taken majority of them from beyond the arc, so you can't blame him for being a little off on his field goal percentage. Josh Sievert, only an assist to his name. Gabriel, 5 assists, 2 steals and 4 points. Kendrick Kaminsk, 3 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Rakaya, 5 points, 1 assist and a steal, 2 for 3 from the floor with 1-3. Fuafua, 2 points, 4 rebounds, a steal and a block, but 2 turnovers as well to balance out those steals and defensive plays. Kelsey North, 2 points. Marco Bates, 7 points, 1 assist and a rebound. 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Robert, 5 points, 1 rebound, 2 for 2, 1 for 1 from beyond the arc, in fact, there, and a steal as well. Now moving on over to the Hawaii Kahunas. Let's look at this. Tate. I don't want to get that. I don't want to see Yona. 1 point to Tate's name, 7 rebounds and an assist, 1 offensive. Doyle, 4 for 5, shooting well from the field, 8 points, 1 rebound. Scooney, 2 for 3, 6 points, 4 rebounds, a steal and an assist. Cross Karari, 10 points, a rebound, assist, and a steal, but 3 turnovers. Yona, 8 points, 2 assists, but 5 turnovers so far. Shooting well, but turning the ball over early and often in the possession. Juniper Hill, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a turnover. Norwich, 8 points, 1 rebound, leading bench score for them. Sophia, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. Blanc, 4 points, perfect from the floor with 1 rebound and 2 blocks. Rooney, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. A turnover to his name as well coming off the bench. Sunderman, 2 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnovers. Kealoha, only a steal and a block, but not many minutes on the floor. So, I think it's clear to everyone in the audience and everyone watching at home that the real story tonight has been the turnovers for Hawaii.
Yeah, you can bet your vote on that one.
I mean, they don't even pay me anything salary-wise to analyze that. Hawaii has to cut down on the turnovers here if they want to be competitive in this game. And, of course, Tate is going to get smacked out of his paws. First possession of the half is not going to go well.
Yeah, right now, Otis bringing it over to Kellendine. Kellendine has really had Yona's number, but a good block there from Tate. But right now, Yona has to be really careful here. He needs to really stay calm in these situations. They pass it up to Doyle. Doyle passing to Yona. Yona for 3. Not able to get it this time. So right now, not a good start in the first half for Yona. This is Yona defending Kellendine. Kellendine passing up to Severt. Severt going back to Devin. And we get to see a reach-in foul for Scooney. Trying to give Devin a taste of his own medicine, but it really doesn't come to dividends. Right now, we get to see Akayu bringing it up. Passing to Najak. Najak, who is wide open for that long 2.
First basket for him tonight, finally with a free throw shot.
Yeah, but right now Alaska's up by 14. That's doing a very good job. They try to throw it up, but it's no good there for Hawaii. And now Devin. Passing it up to Matthews. Instead, pass it back out to Devin. Going over to Josh. Josh going to Otis. Otis. Passing over to Matthews. Matthews for 3. In and out. As Tate gets the board. JCK bringing it up. Throw it over to Barrett. Barrett laying it up, and it's in. So right now, the lead's back down to 12 for Alaska.
Hawaii only succeeds in the fast break, it seems, here tonight, as we almost see them lose the ball.
Yeah, right now, Hawaii's desperately trying to get some type of turnovers on defense. And right now, we get to see Otis Najak flying by his defender, going for an easy jammer there, getting his second field goal of the game.
I mean, if you're not making it from beyond the arc, why not just dump it in with your own 2 paws yourself?
Yeah, but right now, JCK trying to find a way to answer back. Laying it up. He draws the foul, though. That's Matthews. I believe that's his first personal for the game.
See, the problem is, I mean, it's good to get free shots from the foul line, but they're so far behind in the foul game that any fouls here, they're not really going to put pressure on the defense at this point. I mean, if honestly that was the best way to stop the steals, is get Cliff Matthews and Kellendine up to 3 or 4 fouls early so that they were more afraid to steal the ball or at least attempt to steal it. But at this point, they can just keep going for the rest of the game without even worrying about foul trouble.
Yeah, I would have to say that they would probably have to rely on passing it a little bit more. I know it's been pretty scary to do with the turnover margin, but right now, most of those turnovers, in my eyes, have really been from trying to be a little bit too isolation. As Matthews goes for the long 3, but it rattles in and out. It's a quick draw there.
I mean, wide open. He's just going for style at this point.
Well, JCK trying to be a little bit of an answer, trying to tell the crowd to shush for whatever reason. They're down by 11, so I don't think you want to be doing that at the moment. Right now, Devin getting a nice back up as he lays it in for 2. Right now, we get to see a quick timeout for the Kahunas.
I mean, the Kahunas keep calling timeouts, and I can't blame them for that. They need a turnaround, but they only have 3 timeouts left. I hope the coach is keeping track because they are burning through them like crazy, and it's not keeping them alive here. They're lost in the woods, freezing to death right now.
Yeah, but right now, you need to try to find some type of answer. It's Doyle. Was looking of shooting, but he said he passed it over to Vassenhood. Vassenhood loses the ball once again. Devin is just keeping the pressure on him.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call it now. There is no player of the game. It is just the defense that gets the player of the game award.
Yeah, right now we get to see a nice little dunk there. Oh, no! He missed the dunk there. A little bit surprising. The crowd booing a little bit over it. That was for sure a clean dunk. Possibly, but oh, JCK almost loses the ball there. JCK going over to Barrett. Barrett for three. And he's able to get it in. I believe that's his first three of the season, isn't it?
I don't know. We'll have to see what they say. Kelladon's going to try and answer back with one of his own.
And he's able to get it in with ease. And right now, Alaska's up 72-59. Nice. It looks like we're having a little bit of difficulties there, trying to see if things are going on.
And no, Scooney has officially made his 15th three-pointer of the season after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because Barrett is not very well known for his for three-pointers, but here comes Barrett with the long two. So he's able to cut the deficit down to 11.
And 20 extra shots coming out from the Arctics here tonight. Hawaii is shooting lights out percentage-wise. It's just they're not getting the shots off.
Yep, and right now, Yona's trying his best to outmatch Devin, but it's clear he's getting really frustrated here.
Yeah, that's his third personal foul, too, on top of that. So, on the flip side, he's starting to find foul trouble. If he gets his fourth before the end of the third quarter, he is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, right now, Owen passing over to Bates. Bates going to Otis. Otis trying to find a way to get into the paint. Go for a spin move, laying it up. And no good. He's trying to rush his way into the paint and not able to get anything out of it. JCK almost loses the ball, lays it up, but he gets blocked from behind by the Rhino. It's Bates. Going up, going over to Naja. Naja loses the ball, and Barrett gets it up. But he passes it over to Doyle. Doyle passing it to JCK. JCK going over to Barrett. Barrett trying to find a way to drive into the paint, but instead hands it over to Vasino. Vasino going over to Blanc. Blanc handing it to Doyle. Lots of passing for Hawaii. They're down by less than 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And they're just going to go for that long three, and it hits the side of the rim. So no good on that possession there. And right now, Alaska has a chance to extend this lead. And right now, you see a little screen right there, laying it up, and it's in. Good teardrop there. And right now, Yona bringing it up. Yona going for the three on his own, but it hits the side of the rim. Right now, he's being a little bit cold, shooting-wise as well. It's not been his game so far. As Otis passes it over to Kelsey. Kelsey back to Akayu. Akayu going over to Najak. Najak going over to Josh. And right now, Akayu going for a fadeaway, and he's able to drill it.
Yeah, 15-point deficit here for Hawaii right now. Struggling to get things going as Yona's going to go for three again. Nothing off the quick shot there. Yeah,
Yona right now is definitely trying to find something to get his rhythm going. 2 for 6 so far in this game.
Yeah, still shooting 50% from beyond the arc, but last 2 shot attempts have not worked for him.
Right now, Josh going over to Otis. Otis passing to Akayu, and Akayu laying it up in it. Yeah, Alaska's pulling away right now. But it seemed like it was close for a majority of the time before now. Hawaii has to find some type of answer to really get back into this one. Ziona going over to JCK. JCK getting a screen, but he loses the ball on his way to make the cross. And Bates loses it this time. So Hawaii getting a little bit of a never mind. I did not gonna finish that sentence. As Bates laying it up, but he instead passes it to Akayu. Then pass it back out to Bates. Bates for 3, and it's good. And now Alaska's up by 20.
So, should the league commissioner expect to see the whole Alaska team in his office because of bullying Hawaii here tonight? I mean,
quite possibly.
This is just getting out of hand. I mean, it was out of hand in the first quarter, and this is just not going well.
Yeah, it's been a very ugly game for Hawaii. Hawaii's definitely trying to make trying to get something offensively, but again, another missed opportunity in that possession. Kelsey pulling it back, going over to Bates. Bates going over to Najak. A nice dish there as Otis gets the layup. Yeah, right now 9 for 14 compared to 4 of 11 when it comes to the field goal percentages. As Barrett goes for another 3, but not able to get it there. As Margot laying it up to Servert. And they bring the deficit back up to, I believe, 24. Yeah, now I'm going to have to actually use math.
Oh, good Lord. This is not what you went to college for, so...
Yeah, definitely not. Anyways.
Did you pass math?
Barely. I got a nice solid, a low C.
Better than a D for done.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm here to talk about my math theory. We're trying to call this game as Kelsey going for a long 3 in there. Well, excuse me, long 2. As Alaska's now up by 26. And pass it over to JCK. JCK getting into Barrett. Barrett trying to find some way to get into the paint, but instead passes it up to JCK, not liking what he's seeing. He's hoping to get a nice screen as Blanc goes for 3, and he's able to get it on. And the Arctics are calling a timeout.
You might as well give your players a little rest there. No need to let them keep running like a runaway train here, up by 23, in fact. So, at this point, they can just play the possessions out and still walk away with the win.
Yeah, we still have a lot of time left, though, so we're going to have to wait and see. And hopefully, in these last couple of minutes, that the Kahunas will probably find an answer to this onslaught. There has been a lot of sloppy play on their end.
You were saying?
You know, this is proving my point.
I was going to say, I mean, at this point, I'm sure the rest of the league is tuning in. I mean, I can't imagine the poor fans are going to tune in tomorrow and see the box score line of 20 steals from Alaska.
Yeah, and we get to see Bates laying it in.
Where's this team been all season? They could be sitting in the top of their division right now. They play like this every game.
And we get to see another foul there by Robert. The reach-in foul. So it'll still be Hawaii's possession. And we're going to see Juniper. Going to go for a quick screen. Juniper. Taking his time. She goes for a long, for a long 2. She's able to get it down. With her paws were just a little bit behind the line. It would have been nice to get a good 3, but they're going to be down by 23. Right now, they need all the points they can, as we get to see Alaska starting to run down the clock a little bit to end the third quarter, as Bates looking for a tough shot here for the long 2, but Norwich gets the rebound after the miss.
I mean, can you blame them? This is for SportsDen all over again. They're going to cross 100 in the first couple minutes of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and right now we get to see Juniper throwing up, but we get to see a foul there on Kealoha.
Yeah, over the back call, and they're going to see Kellendine, I believe, coming back in for this last 2 possessions.
And I'm assuming going to be starting for the final quarter of this game. It's Devin.
You don't think they're going to rest their players in the last 5 minutes or so if they're up by a large margin?
I wouldn't be too surprised, considering that I don't expect them to. We have seen crazy things before, but it's really hard to get from behind 20 points with that much time on the clock.
Well,
I mean, they have to get a couple of stops here, of course, in order to do that.
They've been shooting great. That's not the problem. They just can't hold on to the ball. That's a harder thing to fix at this point.
Yeah. And right now, Kellendine going for a long 2, not able to get it, and that's how we're going to end the third quarter. So right now, Alaska is rolling as we get ready to enter the fourth quarter.
Yeah, Alaska up by a wide margin here, 89-68. 21-point game going to the fourth quarter. Only 12 minutes left to play in this SportsDen iteration.
So right now we're going to see a little bit of highlights, of course, the assists of the game. Devin Kellendine right now is having a very good game here with that alley-oop pass to the big Rhino for an alley-oop dunk. But right now, it really just seems like that Hawaii needs to get some sort of spark in the start of the fourth quarter if they want to get back into this game. And Hill was able to do just that as she steals the ball, going over the lay-in, and it's good. And of course, I said that they need some sort of spark, and that's the way to do it, getting a steal and bringing it for good fast break points. Need a couple of more of those, and of course, Hill doing dividends. But of course, not getting a fast break this time, but going for a 3, and not able to get it.
Do you think Alaska decide to start dipping their paws in oil?
Maybe a little bit, trying to make this easier for Hawaii, but I would hope not.
Did the coach give him some Butterfingers a little early, celebratory Butterfingers?
Maybe, as Hawaii wasn't able to get anything out of that possession either. As Alaska looking up to Cliff, and Cliff laying it in, get the deficit back up to 21. And then we see Sophia bringing it up, passing it up to Tate. And then back over to Sophia. Sophia with a nice little alley-oop lay-in to Tate. So they're trying to be a little bit flashy here for Hawaii.
Flashy's now, they need to go back to basics at this point, as Matthews should be on the arc. Is good. 94 now.
Yeah, it looks like your prediction of them getting in the 100 within the first few minutes of this quarter is looking to be coming true. And right now we get to see a pass over to Hill, which was not a good one, as Rakoya was able to intercept it pretty easily. And of course, Devin taking advantage of that pretty easily, as we get to see the comparison between Kellendine and Vassenhout. Devin having a very far superior game right now. And as Tate loses the ball there, and once again, we get to see another fast break as Four dunks it down.
I can only shake my head, and honestly, I feel bad for the scorekeepers at this point. Running out of room to keep tallying those steals up and turnovers on both sides.
Yeah, right now Hill trying to lay it in, trying to get some kind of offense going in the second half. They have been doing very well on that, but it's just trying to find the stops on the other end has been the issue. That's Cliff getting a nice screen there, going for the quick long 2, but he's not able to get it, but Full cleans it up. And they have break the century mark before hitting the 9-minute mark. in this game. And Devin really playing with fire right now. As Hill has to be careful again. Devin is just really playing dividends.
Yeah, Alaska subbing out. You know what, Marcus? I think if you want, you can go put your old jersey back on, and they might put you on the floor right now because apparently this is just a show match at this point. So.
I think that would rather not. They probably other Baylor anyways. in this juncture, and right now we get to see a quick lay-in. As Hawaii's trying desperately to find some type of answer, but I think it might be too little too late. As we only have 8:30 left in the game clock. But right now we get to see Kendrick getting fouled by Alphon, which is actually his first personal, surprisingly.
He has been performing well enough on his own tonight, not really warranting any kind of aggression. If anything, he's glaring at his teammates, asking them where they are.
Yeah, I know that it's pretty frustrating for him. As they're not playing up to par to where they are. As Devin trying to play a little bit of isolation. Laying up, and it's good. Right now, Devin is well on his way of getting POTG if he keeps this up. And right now, Cinderman passing up to Ronnie. And we get to see another reach-in foul by Fuafua, his first personal. Right now, Fuafua kind of can't believe it right now, complaining to the refs. And right now, Rudy passing it in, going over to Scooney. Scooney going over to Norwich. Norwich pass it up to Barrett. Barrett going to Jared. Jared found his way into the paint, and he's able to nice little finger roll there. As now Hawaii is down by 24. All right, now Rakuya passing it to Matthews. Matthews looking into getting that screen. He's able to get a little bit open, but not able to shot. Norwich gets the board. Juniper going over to Jared. Sunderman. And to pull it back a little bit. Once again, Alaska's looking for yet another steal. Not able to get in. Of course, Devin getting a second personal, getting a reach-in foul.
He's still not even on track to get 3 by the end of this game. That's his second in 38 minutes. And he has almost 5 steals.
Considering the fact that he can probably go as many times as he wants, unless he gets back-to-back reach-in fouls. But right now, it seems like Yona going for a wild 3, not able to get it. Yeah, it just seems like it is not his night. Because right now, we get to see, this time, Alaska losing the ball.
Almost a kick ball violation there. Look, it was almost off his paws, but Sunderman coming up with the steal.
Yeah, right now, Scooney looking for something and handing it over to Doyle. Doyle going for an alley-oop dunk. It was a nice assist there to give it over to, I believe that was Monge, excuse me, as Kellenine gets the rock. They are up by 22, and Devin not able to get it this time. It's Jared. He's able to get the ball. Alaska haven't scored in the last 2 minutes, and we get to see a nice little roll-in. And now Hawaii has a chance to cut the deficit down to 19. It might be a long shot, but Hawaii might be able to say not so fast as we start to see Hawaii come alive offensively.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
6 minutes, 20 points. Yeah.
I mean, you never know. We've seen crazier stuff before. As Doyle able to make the first one.
I think at this point.
Oh,
Hawaii
Yeah.
wants Alaska to start pulling fans off the floor to play for them, then maybe they'll stand a chance here.
And another steal there as Yona gets the steal this time. Passes over to JCK. JCK going to Barrett, and Barrett laying it in. So right now, Scooty Barrett playing a huge role in the paint this late in the fourth. It's Devin going over to Josh. Josh back to Calendine. Calendine going over to Najee. Najee for three, and he flushed it.
First three of the night for him, too.
You know, right now, their backcourt has really played a huge role as Yona goes for three, and he flushes it. Right now, at this point for Yona, it's really just trying to get the momentum as they go into the next game. As Alaska tried to lay it up, and it's in. So they're answering each other from shot after shot. And right now we get to see some slow pacing it. He passed it over to Barrett. Barrett is going to have to do something with it. Going for another three. And he makes his second of the game. So right now, Hawaii is down by 16. Now Fonz trying to defend Devin here. And right, oh, my mistake, it was Yona. Yona laying it up, and he's able to shoot it in. So now Hawaii is only down by 14.
I mean, I guess if you switch jerseys, that works too.
Right now, Yona trying to do some heavy guarding, and he's able to prevent Devin from getting it. And right now, passing to JCK. JCK laying it up and in. Okay, so now we're starting to slowly have a game here as Hawaii is only down by 12.
I mean, Alaska is just not making their shots for whatever reason suddenly.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, Doyle with the board, and he passes it over to Yona. Yona going to Barrett. Barrett going back out to JCK. They're going to probably reset it a little bit. Have a new game plan. Barrett passing to JCK. JCK to Blanc. Blanc. Probably looking over to Vasanu. Vasanu for three, and it's good. Yep, right now.
Are we sure they didn't just substitute Vasanu for a clone or something? Because
yeah, right now he suddenly came alive in the second, late in this fourth quarter. Right now, I guess he's tired of getting bullied by Devin. But here we see Matthews trying to get the quick jumper, and he's not able to get it there. So right now, Hawaii has a chance to bring it down to back to single digits.
I mean, it is already single digits.
But within two possessions, and Yona has been on fire right now in this, not just in this half, but this quarter alone.
I don't even think it's Hawaii. Like I said, I've been flabbergasted now by the other side. Alaska, what have you done?
Yeah, Alaska right now has just really cooled off a little bit, and Hawaii has been taking advantage of a little bit of extra possessions that they had. And of course, they are actually going to call timeout here.
Well, I mean, I was talking about Hawaii running out of timeouts, but suddenly it's Alaska finding themselves down. I mean, they've just watched a 20-point lead evaporate. It's a 6-point game now with only 3 minutes to play.
And we're seeing a player of the game, but I don't know if we want to call it this early. But
I mean, if this was 5 minutes ago, I would have. But at this point, if if Yona leads back the team, I don't know. You could argue he maybe earned player of the game if Alaska does fall here. It's too close to call. Multiple possessions left. Alaska maybe needs to stop trying to burn clock and actually go for shots now.
Yeah, they're going to have no choice as they only have a 3-possession lead. But if they score here, they can have a little bit of breathing room, and they do just that. Otis Najak playing dividends. As it seems like both him and Doyle have been pretty even in this game, 11 apiece. Right now, Barrett looking to answer back with a good teardrop shot. And Yona gets the assist as well. So right now, Hawaii is probably going to need a good stop here if they want to stay in this game. And right now, Akayu going for a long two, but it hits the side of the rim. Then this might be the advantage they need. Is JCK passes to Tate, going over to Doyle. Doyle looking to drive, and he gets fouled on his way up there. And Devin is just furious right now.
I mean, can you blame him? He, at one point, was on the floor watching a 30-point lead almost form, and now it's down to, after this 2 free throws, if he makes both of them, it'll be down to just a 4-point game.
Yeah, right now, even the coach cannot believe it on the Arctics. He just can't believe like what happened with his team coming late into the fourth. After having all that momentum, having a possibility to get a solid win against a division opponent who's leading the division, now they're seeing their lead dwindle, but a lucky break there as Doyle misses the first one.
I mean, this is probably very indicative of why the Arctics have struggled. I mean, they built this huge lead and they couldn't close it out, letting Hawaii claw their way back. I mean, Alaska definitely shot lights out and got the turnovers, but if that's not happening, what does that mean for the team as a whole if they're struggling this much in only 6 minutes of play?
Yeah, and right now Hawaii's able to get it into a 5-point game. Right now they do need a couple of other good stops to have a good chance. And right now, Tate had no choice but to foul because it seemed like Devin was about to go right by him.
Yeah, and we're going to see the game slow down here as both teams are trying to not only get good shots up, but to get those charity points going. Honestly, Tate just got in bad position with his paws. He couldn't keep them extended and had to push off of Kellendine. A little bit smarter on defense. Could have just blocked it off the backboard in that case.
Yeah, but that could be at risk of being called a goaltend if he wasn't careful on that either.
True. Can't let it get above its arc. Go on the first, but honestly, sending Kellendine to the line for 2 is pretty much just giving him the bucket anyways.
You're right on that. It was really a lose-lose situation for Tate. That's Devin looking to get the second one. And he does just that. So, once again, Alaska's up by 7. 3-possession game, so Hawaii is going to have to be able to score here. And they do just that. The deficit back down to 5. Now all you now is just 1 stop.
Yeah, and that was just because Hawaii was getting, Tate was getting Scooney was getting double teamed to Tate, fouling hard there. Another chance for 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and that might have costed this team. At this time, it's going to be Cliff. And knowing the player that Cliff is, you really don't expect him to miss either of these free throws.
I mean, honestly, at this point, I consider this a 3-possession game anyways. Hawaii only recently catching fire from beyond the arc with Yona, and even he has been streaky at best. So I would not be in the camp of going for 3s at this point. Go for 2s and hope for the steal off the inbound. But Cliff on his first one is good. 6-point game.
Yeah, if he misses the second one here, this could be a possibility that they could have it within 2. I still think they should go for at least 1 3. Probably not in the next possession, but the one after, I would say they go for that 3. If Matthews misses this. And of course he doesn't, so throw that out of the window.
Well, I mean, at this point they have to go for 3s. Now you're talking about possibly a 4-possession game if you go by 2s. But Barrett, that's one way, only taking a few seconds to get that bucket down. Surprised they're not going for a full court press, but with 5-point difference here, they do have 2 more shot attempts at least. And it's almost stolen, but that's going to probably be the daggers. No one could get the ball, and Sever comes up with it and gets fouled with the bucket. Chance for a 3-point play here. If only Hawaii had pulled that up.
Yeah, if Doyle was able to keep his eyes, if his eyes were there on the ball, he probably would have taken it the turnover and pretty much give the Hawaii another chance, but Josh Server was able to get it first, and the second-year player paying dividends as to why he should stay on this team if he continues to play in this caliber. As Server is able to get possibly the game-clinching shot, as Hawaii is now down by 8. And Barrett's getting double teamed, and they have a chance at a jump ball.
Well, I mean, considering it's going to be, I believe, Scooney and Sievert, or sorry, they're going to do Tate. No, that is Scooney. Yeah,
Nope,
Scooney versus
Scooney.
Sievert. Not it somehow comes up with it.
Yeah, and that's pretty much game there. They had to win that jump ball, but they weren't able to do it that time, which is a little bit surprising considering the size difference, but it is what it is. And right now we get to see Najak put the final shot up, and that's pretty much it, guys. Alaska's up 118-108 with 40 seconds left on the game clock. And right now we can say that this is a very solid game at home as we start winding things down.
Well, I mean, solid for, what was it, 42 minutes, and then about 6 minutes of absolute pandemonium as they collapsed and let them come back within a couple baskets.
Well, you know what they say, an ugly win is still a win, and whether or not how the game ended, they should feel good about this win going up against a really good Hawaii Kahuna teams who admittedly have not really played up to their potential tonight.
I mean, they played great on offense except for the turnovers. Had they even cut the turnovers in half, this game would have gone the other way, but Alaska just coming out better tonight, had a better game plan, had a better understanding of what their opponents were trying to do, and were actually able to capitalize on it. So I can't fault them, as we're going to see Sophia getting a 3 here late. Technically a 3-possession game, and we are going to see the full court press, but at this point, as soon as Alaska gets across the line, they're just going to dribble the ball out for this last 14 seconds as the shot clock has turned off.
Yep, that's pretty much what they're going to be planning on doing as we go ahead and Alaska winning this game 120-111. A very good performance here for Alaska, albeit having a little bit of a scare by the end, but still able to pull out with the W.
Yeah, Alaska fans breathing a sigh of relief there at the end, and we'll take a look at the stats in a minute. I believe, unfortunately, Kellendine did not keep pace towards a triple-double, but I believe he did end up with the double-double near the end with the number of assists. We'll just have to see what the score table says in the end.
Now, that's definitely true there. I mean, it was, even though that it was a disappointing game for the Kahunas, and Alaska probably might have to look back on those last few minutes and see what they did wrong, albeit it still was a pretty fun game to watch coming down into the wire. Go ahead and look into the stats here.
And we'll start with the winners of the game, the Arctics. Caillou, 11 points, 10 rebounds, ending with a double-double with 5 steals and a block, 5 for 7 from the floor. Cliff Matthews, 24 points, 10 for 18 with 3 steals and a block. Kellendine, 24 points as well, 1 assist shy in the end with 5 steals, but 5 turnovers as well, especially I think a lot of them coming in the fourth quarter there. 5 for 5 from the free throw line, but 50% from the field itself. Otis and Jack had 0 buckets at the half, but finished with 7 of 13 for 15 points, 4 assists, rebound, and a steal. Josh Sievert, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, and a steal, 2 for 5. Uafua, 3 for 3 with 7 rebounds, assists, 2 steals, and a block, doing a bit of everything, including 2 offensive rebounds. Gabriel, 4 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, and a turnover. Didn't have the greatest night shooting, but contributed when needed. Rakaya, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals as well, 2 for 3 with 1 3-pointer. Margot Bates, 4 for 6 from the field, 12 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and an offensive rebound. Also perfect from the free throw line, 3 for 3. Kelsey North, 6 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 for 7, missed both her 3-point attempts. Kendrick Kaminsk, 3 points, 1 rebound, and an assist. Robert Poisson, 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and Amy Weiss only getting on the floor for exactly 1 minute did nothing. Going over to Scooney, he definitely stepped up in the second half. 22 points, 9 for 12, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Warren Doyle, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 50%, above 50% from the field actually. Yona himself even finishing above 50% thanks to that fourth quarter flurry. 6 assists, 19 points, 2 rebounds, but 6 turnovers equaling the assist is not a good stat to have. Julian, 15 points, 6 for 9 from the field, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Maybe should have tried 1 or 2 more from three-point land, but was not given a lot of openings. But 5 assists as well for him. Tate shut down on offense, only 5 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and only 1 offensive rebound. Norwich, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 for 5. Blanc, 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 for 3 with 2 blocks. Juniper Hill, 6 for 11, 12 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 2 steals. Sophia, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. Rooney, 15 minutes on the floor, only got 2 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound, and 2 blocks. Sunderman, 6 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, and a steal. Kialoa, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and 1 block. And then Charles also on the floor, only for 1 minute, thanks to the absolute blowout at one point. And just looking over at the team comparison, again, Hawaii shooting 66% from the field. That stat usually would have said, hey, you've won the game, but 19 less shots.
And again, going over into the turnover margin, which is
absolutely horrible. I mean, 4 dunks for Alaska in that first quarter, and again, we see the second quarter. Both teams shooting very well, and that ended up being what caused the overall problem for Hawaii. First half, points off turnover, 24 points of the 63 were from turnovers.
Not to mention the 16-4 steal ratio, which is just insane.
Yeah, and then finally in the fourth quarter, 43 points, an absolute flurry. Only missing 4 of their shots. Just was not enough to pull back in time.
Yeah, and even with the late game heroes, really by the end of it, it's all just because of the fact that Hawaii had too many mistakes, many unforced turnovers, and really had secured the ball as much in this game. And of course, I think this is one of those games that Hawaii would like to forget, even though with the late night flurry, it's just not something that you want to see as a team.
No, it's not. I mean, really, in the end of the day, I feel Alaska's going to go away with this with their heads held high, but that fourth quarter may continue to creep doubt in their minds. If Hawaii had played like that sooner, this game could have been completely turned around the other way.
Oh yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's going to be it was definitely not something that as the Arctics. I'm sure that once they get back into the first thing they're going to do is look at that fourth quarter and see what do they have to do to make sure that something like that doesn't happen again. Because you don't want to be the team that doesn't know how to finish their opponents when they do have them on the rope. Because having something like that happen is not something you see at any point of the game, especially if you're going to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering they are in the division of death, which, honestly, they're going to be playing teams like Hawaii very often. And if they can't close out easily at home, how can they expect to do that on the road? So that is something they're going to have to look for. And honestly, with Hawaii, bad game for them. I don't know if there's a lot they are going to go home and take away from this. This was definitely almost an out-of-character night for them. So it's not worth getting wrapped up in trying to fix something that honestly may not be as broken as people are going to say. It's just if this happens again, then it becomes a concern.
Yeah, considering the fact that this is a league with 80 games, there's going to be a couple of off nights for some teams, and this is certainly one of them for Hawaii. They were able to rally back, which is something that you would like to see. That they're not willing to quit, which is something that you have to admire, both as a player and as a fan. And at the end of the day, they still have a pretty hefty lead. Well, of course, they don't really own the they're not first in the division anymore. They're kind of second to Santa Ana at the moment, but at the same time, they still have a pretty good lead compared to the other two teams. So I'd say that it's still something that they can look out on and continue from there.
Yep, and actually, you and I will be back not too long. Wrapping up here tonight. Next game will be Bangor at Baltimore later this week.
Yeah, that sounds like a very exciting time.
Yes, I've been Ryan Eastman, and thanks for having me, Marcus.
Hey, it's not a problem. It's a pleasure. It's been exciting to have you on call with me once again.
Yep, thank you all for tuning in. We will see you later this week. Have a good night.